0.7 and hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, Facebook live stream and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Shine FM Akachi, Radio Max Takrady and Ridge in Tamale. Get radio, TV and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS services. Now coming up, expect 5 hours of power outage after every 3 days. The announcement from the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited as it releases a load shedding timetable.
The load has been shed for 7 days already, and so we just have about 7 days more to go. It ends on the 7th of April.
Also, NDC minority counting on absence of secret ballot in consideration of controversial 3 revenue bills later today, as they hope to avoid a repeat of the defeat in approval of ministerial nominees.
This is not a secret ballot. I have no doubt that if all the numbers come, we will be able to account for our 136.
In business,
Ghana's staff-level agreement with the International Monetary Fund to receive executive board approval in the second quarter of this year. That's according to Fit Solutions, and we have details on the Joy Business Report.
Also, desist from gifting out CD bouquets and hampers. It is illegal. That's the warning from the Bank of Ghana. And later, musician Kwame Eugene finally explains why he refused a collaboration with the young musician Photocopy.
Because Kwache talked, he's my friend, he can just come. He didn't like the fact that I said we should have a whole conversation about it.
I am Maame Esi Thompson. Now the details. Expect 5 hours of power outage after every 3 days beginning April 1. That's the announcement from the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited as it releases a load shedding timetable. The Ghana Gas Company had earlier announced an intended shutdown of their trouble processing plant for thorough maintenance work. External Communications Officer with the ECG, Leila Abubakar, says the exercise will last for 7 days.
It's no longer 14 days. The load has been shed for 7 days already, and so we just have about 7 days more to go. It ends on the 7th of April, and so people shouldn't expect to be off 14 days. It's no longer 2 weeks, and so it was painless because a lot of people didn't realize it. We just think it's right to inform Ghanaians that this is what is happening, so that it would not come up as if we weren't being honest with our customers. We thought that Ghana Gas could finish the maintenance that they were doing much earlier, and so we're just waiting to see how far we could push them to work harder. But it seems the load of work to do is quite chunky, and so they're requesting an additional 7 days, which we are going to continue with.
External Communications Officer of the ECG, Leila Abubakar there. Now, my colleague Joseph Akable joins me in studio on the schedule. Joseph, run us through the load management table.
And so, in terms of the regional groups, when you look at Group A for Accra, the affected areas, we are looking at areas including South Odoko, Banyard, Odogono, Awoshi, and those areas. In terms of Volta A, we are looking at parts of Toman, parts of Sogakope as well, and Adie Kopi and Wafa and Bakba. Then Ashanti Group A, Efia Kobi Market, Cocoa Clinic, A Life, part of Edum and Railways Company. And so the full schedule has been published on myjoyonline.com. Listeners can get details to know when their lights will go off.
Thank you, Joseph. Now, moving on. Today is the last day of sitting before members of parliament take their Easter break. But before they can leave, they must first approve or reject the controversial revenue bills needed to secure an IMF bailout. The income tax, the excise duty, and the growth and sustainability amendment bills form part agreed prior actions to unlock the IMF program. The bills were expected before the House yesterday, but Joy News understands inconclusive negotiations between the leadership of both sides of the House forced a rescheduling. Ahead of the crucial decision, the minority side is confident the absence of a secret vote will make it possible for them to reject the bills. Mahama Yariga is MP for Boko Central.
From all indications, our numbers are likely to be 136 against 137. That is the current numerical strength of the two caucuses, the NPP caucus and the NDC caucus. This is not a secret ballot, so I have no doubt that if all the numbers come, we will be able to account for or 136. You can't hide. Your vote will be known.
And that was Mahama Ayariga, MP for Boko Central. Now, the Pensioner Bondholders Forum have petitioned Parliament over the Finance Ministry's failure to comply with the terms of the exemption from the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. The forum secured a written exemption after days of protest at the premises of the Finance Ministry. But speaking to Joy News, convener Dr. Edwana Nientri says many of the members have still not paid their coupons and principals.
You cannot decide when to pay. You have no right to decide when to pay unless you have spoken to your creditors.
Have they spoken to you?
No. So if you haven't spoken to your creditors, you don't determine when to pay. And we copied the Speaker of Parliament to let Parliament also be aware that we will be going back to the picketing that they were very much unhappy about.
It's become fashionable today to see CD leaflets presented as bouquet for marriage, birthdays and other celebrations. But the Bank of Ghana is cautioning against the use of the currency, especially the CD, as this is illegal. Director of the Currency Department at the Central Bank, Mr. Dominic Owusu, says the CD issued by the Central Bank is a legal tender as it is only supposed to be used as a medium of exchange.
Currency Act 64. So I want you to be aware and desist from using the currency for such acts in terms of bouquets and other businesses. The currency is issued by the central bank as a medium of exchange, not as gifts and bouquets. It should be very clear.
Mr. Dominic Owusu is Director of the Currency Department at the Central Bank. Members of Fire Committee have visited the fire-ravaged site of the Keita Market as they begin probe into cause of fire that destroyed more than 40 shops. The 5-member committee established by the Ministry of Local Government is tasked to unravel the cause of the inferno and submit a report to the Ministry for onward works. Their work begins at a time traders are demanding the immediate opening of the market. Love FM's Nanayao report.
The committee, inaugurated on Wednesday, is chaired by Professor Theophilus Ejekumi of the Department of Construction Technology and Management at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Other members include private legal practitioner Francis Kofi, real estate consultant Kofi Ampon, and Deputy Director General for NADMO, Daniel Kwekudente. Emilia Ajeben Butche serves as secretary to the committee. Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Local Government, Osei Bonsu Amwa, spoke about the composition of the committee.
They are supposed to bring their findings and recommendations within 3 weeks to ensure that at least we get to the bottom of this matter. The minister would also act on them and then would see a better situation as far as the market is concerned.
All committee members on their first day of work were present at the Kejitia Market. Together with a team from the Kumasi City Markets Limited, they went to parts of the market affected by the fire. Other areas, including fire installations and CCTV rooms, were among areas of interest. The committee's terms of reference include inquiry into circumstances of and establish the facts leading to the fire outbreak.
Nanaya Ojima's report. Now, musician Kwame Eugene has clarified why he didn't grant a request by young musician Photocopy for a collaboration. According to him, main managers of the young talent refused to go through a formal process with his team. Eugene's reactions come following Photocopy revealing in an interview that Kwame turned him down because he didn't have the clout and numbers, leading him to hate him. Listen.
Kwame Eugene. The whole industry, the artists I hate. Because of what he told me, since that day, it took me like more than a week to eat. I loved his music, his career, his lifestyle, his everything. How? Because that day he really wanted that feature. So when Kwame Eugene said that, he was like, oh, but at least you could do something to help my son. He was like, no, he has no numbers, he has nothing and nothing.
But Kwame Eugene explains it's because his management didn't follow due process.
So it takes good conversation to just do a feature. So meet Richie. Come, you're Kwachi, my friend. I actually know the father. You're my friend. Let's go together. Me, I go follow you. Make we talk to Richie and the whole team. Let's just talk, have a good conversation. And if it's possible, we'll do the song.
Yeah.
Because Kwachi talked, he's my friend. He can just come. He didn't like the fact that I said we should have a whole conversation about. He thought, oh, Kwame said, it doesn't really work like that.
And he had musician Kwame Eugene ending the bulletin in our top story. Expect 5 hours of power outage after every 3 days. That's the announcement from the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited as it releases a load shedding timetable. I am Maame Esi Thompson. Up next is business.